The changes to Elementalists are effectively an attempt to make the Air and Earth Grandmaster traits more worthwhile, while reducing dependency on the currently nigh on mandatory Arcane trait line. Firstly, the base cooldown of achievements is being reduced by 3 seconds, and the global cooldown by 0.375 seconds, which is an 18.75% decrease in both cases, the equivalent of having 15 points in the current Arcane tree. To counteract this, the effect on achievement recharge of each point in the Arcane line will be halved. What this means is that Elementalists will now be able to access greater versatility in combat, while also being able to invest in more directly offensive trait lines, although the minimum attunement cooldown will be the same. This theme is further continued, as all of the weapon-based Arcane traits have been moved to the Adept tier, allowing Elementalists to empower their implement of choice while only investing 10 trait points, which will produce the same attunement recharge bonus as 20 points does now. However, to compensate for these seemingly huge buffs, Arcane Retribution, Elemental Attunement and Arcane Resurrection have all been moved to the Master tier. The move of Arcane Retribution is justified by its cooldown being halved. However, there's not really a situation in game where this is actually useful, so this can be considered as a nerf overall. Moving Arcane Resurrection will doubtlessly have profound effects on nothing at all, as it's possible it's only ever been used by accident. The final change to Arcane traits is that Final Shielding has had its cooldown reduced from 90 to 75 seconds, which is not exactly earth-shattering, but it will probably save someone's life at some point. Moving on to Water, which is only having one actual modification to its traits. Soothing Wave will grant 3 seconds of regeneration upon being struck critically. Although this is a massive improvement from its previously useless state, Soothing Wave will remain mediocre at best. 3 seconds of regeneration will be of little comfort with the notoriously low health pool of Elementalists, and it will be totally useless against any condition-applying foes. Two of the most powerful watery traits, Cleansing Wave and Aquamancer's Alacrity, have moved to the Master tier. This is of course unhelpful, but due to the huge benefit of taking at least 15 points in the water line, it's unlikely to change anything. Aquamancer's Alacrity is a strong trait, but won't really be viable anymore, as players will be forced to choose between it and Cleansing Wave. As two have moved up, it follows two must move down, Arcane Abatement and Soothing Wave. As mentioned previously, Soothing Wave has a new improved form, and for only 10 points it might be worth picking up in some situations. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for Arcane Abatement. In addition to the previous changes, two more traits are also swapping places, Cantrip Mastery and Soothing Disruption, which are now Adept and Master respectively. They are being moved because of the crackdown on easily available Vigor. Soothing Disruption produces 6 seconds of it, possibly 18 seconds, if all 3 utility skills used are cantrips. However, 20% cooldown reduction granted by Cantrip Mastery is not to be underestimated, and is very good for an Adept trait, especially considering the shortest cooldown for a cantrip is 40 seconds. Earth Magic is seeing some interesting changes. Two traits, Diamond Skin and Strength of Stone, are being completely remade. The former will render the player immune to conditions while maintaining a health percentage greater than 90. This could potentially be very useful in both PvE and PvP. In PvE, Elementalists are unlikely to be the focus of damage, and with Diamond Skin will not be hindered by damage reducing conditions such as weakness or chill, while also preventing damaging conditions applied through unavoidable means. In PvP, combining this condition resistance with small short cooldown heals such as Signet of Restoration or Attuning to Water will greatly hinder opposing condition-based builds while synergizing with effects such as Vital Striking or Runes of the Scholar. Strength of Stone is now a passive stat conversion, 10% of toughness to condition damage, which is a fairly strong bonus considering the abundance of conditions available to Elementalists, and then it could easily generate more than 150 condition damage. Finally, Stone Flesh is having a significant increase in effectiveness, 50% to be exact. It will grant 120 toughness while attuned to Earth, a useful and not insignificant bonus to survivability, especially combined with lingering elements from the Arcane line. Air Magic has barely been touched upon. Soothing Winds is having its conversion rate increase from 5 to 7%, so if you require an additional 30 healing power, then this could be the trait for you. Tempest Defense has had its cooldown reduced to 25 seconds. Although it will probably be able to yield multiple shocking auras within a single fight, it's still quite situational, and considering its Grandmaster status, Fresh Air will remain a better choice in most situations. The element of Flame is becoming more lucrative in the low tiers. Conjurer will drop down to an Adept trait, which frees up an extra 10 points for more useful application elsewhere if a conjured weapon build is being used. Burning Fire is to be made useful. removing conditions by auto-casting Cleansing Fire when 3 conditions are applied. This seems to be a very powerful utility capable of derailing many a condition build in PvP. Although in accordance with its power increase, Burning Fire is turning into a master trait, requiring additional investment into the fire line. The final 2 changes to the Elementalist can be grouped together succinctly, as Ember's Might, a previously adept fire trait, will now be granted for free in combination with Burning Rage, the 25-point bonus in the fire tree, meaning that Burning Rage will now grant 10% bonus damage to burning targets, which has the potential for significantly increasing the overall damage of Elementalists maintaining constant burning. The new function of Ember's Might synergizes very well with Burning Rage, as it will now increase all burning duration by 25%, increasing the ease at which burning can be used as not only as a cover condition, but also to maintain a 10% damage bonus.
That concludes the Elementalist modifications implemented on December the 10th. Do you play more than one profession? Then here are the others and their respective changes.